Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Antoine Thomas here with another episode of Silver Lining TV, where we motivate and inspire people to create a better life through real estate. And today, I got another awesome guest. This is the second time on the show. He is somebody who I value very much, someone who I care about a lot. He's been through the journey with me for almost from day one. So he's helped me build this great organization, what we currently got right now. Mr. Charles Bell, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing today?
Hey, I am doing well. Antoine, how are you?
I love my life. So no complaints over here, my brother. Life is good, man. Even though it's cold outside, but hey, I'm just thankful to be here. Thankful I got running water. Everything is good. But CB, what I want to do is let's start off the show the right way. I'm gonna let you give a 1 to 2 minute background story about yourself to just help inform people on why they should watch this episode all the way through. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
All right. Well, for the people that don't know me, my name is Charles Bell. I was born in Logansport, Indiana. Then soon after that, a couple of years, me and my younger brother, my mom, we moved back to Texas where I grew up. And then when I turned 17, I journeyed back up to Logansport, Indiana, and I've been here in Indiana since 1995. So the past 26 years, I've been here in Indiana with family and great friends, and now kids and wife, and like Antoine said, just blessed and living a great life. I've been in the real estate business where I've been a real estate professional for the last 3 years. I've been full-time for going on 2 years now, and I've helped over 80 families already with my young career, and, just on pace to have another great solid year and help as many people as we can.
I love it, man.
Looking forward
I love
to
it. And absolutely. And I remember the day when we first connected and we talked about real estate, and I said, my brother, you got to come join me. I'm trying to build something great for the people out here, and we got to serve as many people as possible. Will you join me? And
I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was flattered. I was like, really? Because I just remember Antoine from the basketball courts, always respectful young dude. I might have shook him up a few times out there, or got shook up. I mean, that was a long time ago, but I was flattered. And when you asked me that, I remember thinking to myself, and I probably told you, I'm like, man, Antoine, I'm actually behind schedule on my real estate venture. So I appreciate you for that.
Appreciate you as well, my brother. All right. So we're going to kick some good knowledge for everybody today. And we hope you find this to be valuable. I will remind everybody before we kick everything off, if you have questions, please, you can leave a comment. I'll make sure that we answer those questions before we hop off the live stream. So today, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about how if you're going to be building a new home or you're thinking about building a new home, why your agent is critical through that whole process. All right. Now, a lot of people don't really understand the process of building a home, period, let alone, even just buying a house. Right. So we're going to dive deep into that. I actually have a graphic that I'm going to show. And let's see, let me pull it up real fast. And Charles, if you can be kind enough to confirm with me if you see that, my brother.
I definitely see it.
Okay, good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Let's see if I can zoom in. And all right. Okay, so I think that's good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it off to CB, and he's going to be able to not only break down the graphic, kind of give you some information, but he himself has built 2 homes, correct?
Yes.
2 homes. And in his career, I would just say last year, he's helped several people go through the process of building a home and being able to get all into that transition of making sure they get the home that they want built. So CB, I'm going to hand it off to you, my brother.
Okay. Thank you, Antoine. Like Antoine mentioned, I have built 2 homes. And my first home, just to let everybody know, I did not have an agent, helping be that advocate. And I tell you what, we ran into a lot of issues. The second home, Antoine helped me. So as it says here, a real estate professional is an expert who can advocate on your behalf throughout the process. And that is very true. And it starts right here, as you guys see, materials. You have seasoned people that are around job sites and building and, real estate every day. So it's real simple for us to go to a site and see some material that might not be up to standard or might be questionable. The whole thought behind an agent representing a buyer or buyers or a family on a new build is to be that third set of eyes.
Exactly.
So a lot of times, people, that are building homes are probably very busy people that have great jobs. You can't always be on the scene. So when you have a true professional out there being that third set of eyes, we can notice certain things, especially when it comes to material. The next thing that's going to be a big key factor is time frame. Again, we're that advocate. We're going to make sure that all of these dates are being hit or targeted. We're going to be in communication with the seller, the builder. If they have a realtor working on the selling side, we're going to be in communication. So what that's going to do for you is it's going to allow you to just kind of relax, go about your normal life. And we're going to be, out there in the trenches, making sure that things are, deadlines are being met. And me, building a couple houses myself, I've been through the process with an agent and without an agent. So it's very important to have somebody helping. Because
can I touch on some? Yeah, go ahead, CB.
Two places at one time, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And you made a great point that I actually want to touch on a little further. And you mentioned if the seller who was the builder, if they have their own agent, we have to remember as a buyer, as a person purchasing the new build, that agent does not represent you.
No.
That agent is representing the best interests of the builder, of the seller. Okay. So you got to keep that in mind. You got to make sure that you have your own support, like Charles has mentioned, for you, your advocate, to help you through the process, because just because there's an agent involved, if they weren't hired by you initially, you got to remember that builder hired that agent to help them negotiate on his or her behalf. All right. I just wanted to make that point and kind of drive it home a little more, because I think that is very important when it comes to building.
And you touched on hire, Antoine, and just, to let everyone know, we're representing you as your buyer's agent on this new build, but you don't compensate us. We get compensated from the seller or the builder. So that's another thing to understand. A lot of people don't understand that. We're just here to make sure that you're getting taken care of and you're getting what you pay for. All right.
Absolutely.
And a lot of things are going on in this crazy world right now. We have this COVID that's affecting a lot of different things, prices, deadlines, and things like that. So again, we're just making sure that we're getting this home in a timely manner, and we're sticking to, deadlines. And if not, we're out there searching for answers.
Yep.
If you take the chance of, working without without representation, and next thing you know, you're like, man, so we're not closing? Why?
Oh, yeah.
We're 2 months out and you're thinking everything's going fine and dandy, but it's not. Absolutely. And then you have good old warranties. I tell you what, warranties, you usually get a manual about like that. And just working with us after the transaction closes, we're still going to be there for you. So if there was some kind of warranty issues coming up or that came about, all that legal jargon, we're going to be right there with a fine-tooth comb to help you through that. Making sure, you never know. You might reach out to somebody and they're like, no, that's not warranted, when we know it should be. All right. Yep. So we're going to make sure that you're getting protected on those warranties.
And what would you say to the people who are having to sell first, but then they also want to build something new? So in regarding to time frame, right?
We're going to make sure, and especially if we're representing you on both sides, which I'm sure we would be, we're going to make sure everything lines up.
Yeah.
All of the worrying, we're going to take that away. All right. We're going to make sure that our buyer on the sell side is up to speed on what's going on. We're going to be communicating with them. Hey, Sally, the build got pushed out a month. We're going to be letting them know 3 months in advance so they could, take their extra steps or actions to make sure that they're not put in a bad situation. We communicate well. And we're going to be on top of everything when it comes to, selling your property, the new build, from A to Z. We're going to be on top of it. No guesswork.
100%. 100%. All right. I'm going to pull this down a little bit. And one thing I'll add in there too is when Charles mentioned that we're going to make sure we're there for you, we're going to always be honest with you. We're going to do things in your interest. Even if it doesn't make sense for you to build in today's climate, we're going to tell you that due to maybe increases in materials, maybe due to whatever it be. Reality is you get the information you need to ensure you make the best decision for you, right? And we'll make sure we relay everything we know as we're researching every day. You'll have that information for you to decide, does it make sense to build new right now? Does it make sense to stay where I'm currently at? Does it make sense to purchase resell? So either way, we're going to make sure that we go down the correct road. Yeah. All right. Moving on.
And with Antoine touching on that, I'm going to say it all starts with your budget. And we're going to have that figured out before we go to the drawing board. We're going to know exactly what's comfortable because we're going to be working with our experienced lenders. And it all starts with budget, your budget. If it makes sense, it's possible, we're going to be comfortable with it, then let's rock and roll. If not, we're going to revisit the situation and see if we do need to find something that's already on the market.
Absolutely. I love it.
Right. So we have selecting upgrades. Man, this is fun, but it can get tricky. I've been there. We've had to mark off plenty of things on the list, and we've added some things the second time around. It's fun, but it can be tricky. And what I'm going to point out on upgrades are, does it make sense? Does it fall into our budget? Is it good for resale? We might not want to get too crazy with this type of tile. We might want to just go with some plain stuff down the road. We're not going to put in that extra Whirlpool tub if it's going to knock us out, $3,000 or $4,000 and put us in a bad spot. We already know our budget. Selecting upgrades is also determined to me on budget. All right. And we have to bring a lot of things to the light, hey, Lyle, does that really make sense for us? Is it a smart move? And ultimately we let you own that, but we just want to be there and be that advocate just to point out, hey, that puts us over budget. Are you guys okay with it?
Absolutely.
So upgrades are fun, but they can be tricky for sure.
Got to stay within that budget is the key.
Got to stay within that budget. Got to stay within that budget. Oh, managing negotiations. That's also fun as well. So what a lot of people don't understand with new builds, there's builders contracts and things like that. So what we're going to do, again, I mentioned it earlier, we're going to go through with that that comb and just comb through these contracts and making sure that we're, understanding everything. All right. It can get tricky because we're doing a regular purchase agreement. Then we have to go back and revisit with the builder's contract and things like that. And it can get, complex. And then you're adding in all of the upgrades. You have a sheet there. So we just have to stay on top of those. And that's what we do. We do this stuff all the time. It could be very easily, misrepresented or, confusing to the average eye. When you're seeing one of these contracts, you're just excited. Okay, yeah, that looks good. But what we're going to do is we're really going to sit down and go over it and add it up a few times. And then, notice possibly a mistake or two. So managing and negotiating contracts is very important. That's why it's one of the big reasons you really need, if you're buying or building, either way, you should have, representation, people that are true professionals that are going to look out for you.
Absolutely. Love it. What about dealing with roadblocks?
Dealing with roadblocks. I just built a home with the family, and COVID, right in the middle of the pandemic. There was lots of roadblocks coming up, material prices fluctuating, not able to get materials in. But you know what? With the communication, we made it smooth. We were on top of everything. Everything that came up, the builders were great. They were communicating, and I was communicating. So we were getting right back to the client, same day, same hour, a lot of times. Hey, call me as soon as you guys can. Just reaching out and just communicating well. And that relieves, again, when you get communicated, hey, your house is going to be pushed out a month. At first, you're like, wow, really? But you understand, especially because of the circumstances.
Right.
But once your agent or your representation is communicating well and fast, then it really helps.
Absolutely.
So it's really a big deal.
Yeah. And I would say whenever you're in any type of process that can take 30, 45, 6 months, 30, 45 days, which is a normal transaction. That's not, you're not building. We're talking a 4 to 6 month process. Whenever you're dealing with any type of process that is extended that far out, there will be things that happen that it just wasn't in our plan to start with.
Right.
Now, in other words, what Charles was saying was there's going to be turbulence on this flight, believe it. However, you're dealing with people who, and whether it's us or another agent, that agent, if they're up to par, they should be able to navigate you to land safely despite the turbulence. We understand things. Yeah. Like we're going to be able to get to the finish line. Everybody's going to be safe. When we land, we're going to look back at each other and be like, man, woo. And we're going to laugh about it because turbulence is going to happen, but we're going to get to the destination safe and sound. So I just wanted to point that out because, again, that's a long process. Woo, there's a lot of people involved. You got the actual contractors. You have the company, the builder, the company. You have you as the client. You have us as the agent. And then you have all these inspections that the property has to go through. Is everything going to be perfect going through all that? Probably not. However, we get it done because it ends up getting perfect, right? We always get it done correctly in the way it should be. So I just want to point that out, just being real. We're not going to say it's going to be beautiful all the time. Yeah. It's just not, but we will get it done and we'll make sure. The biggest thing is this, what I've found, knowledge and communication.
Yes.
Is going to be the key of making sure that we deal and overcome the roadblocks. Knowledge, communication. All right. Those are the two keys. Go ahead, CB. Sorry.
And like you said, there's going to be times throughout a build or any other transaction that we're going to have to tell you some stuff that you might not want to hear, but it's going to be the real truth. And it's only for the better of the transaction. We're going to give it to you straight up and we're not going to sugarcoat it. And we're definitely not going to keep it from you. Those are a couple of things that we are not going to do. And that's just part of it.
Love it. Love it. Good point, CB. So with that being said, I hope that was valuable. We're already at, 25 minutes being live. So I wanted to keep it short and I did not, I wanted to keep it under 20 minutes and I didn't. So
however, a little more than normal.
No, this is perfect because again, this is valuable information that is, people who are wanting to be a new homeowner this year or wanting to build, whatever it may be, they can get this knowledge. And if it means we got to be on here 5-10 more minutes, it is what it is, right? This is what our purpose is give value. But what I want to do is to close, CB, let me stop sharing. I want to make sure I'm going to get our faces back up here. All right. So to close, to wrap this thing up, put a bow on it. How can people reach you if they have questions about building, buying, selling, investing? How can people reach out to you and connect?
Like I tell everybody that encounters me in the real estate world, you could reach me at any time at 765-532-9814. That is my one and only number, personal and business. Or you could reach me at charles@silverliningregroup.com. The phone is right there always. So a quick text, and I'll be right back to you. If not, give me about an hour. I'm doing something like this.
Yeah, I say this all the time. We have a 3-hour rule. So we'll get back to you within 3 hours, unless it's like midnight and you texted us, it'll be the next morning. But yeah, Charles is a hardworking man. You're going to guarantee to get top level service with this guy being on your side. And also you can reach out to him via Facebook as well. You know, that's probably one of the best places, cell phone and Facebook.
Message.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, hey, I want to throw this out there. If you have questions or a topic that you want us to discuss, reach out to me on Facebook. You can shoot me a message through Messenger, and I'll be happy to discuss it with a teammate or a business partner, and we can get on a live and we can actually answer those questions and walk through it on live. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and close it out, and want to close it out the right way with our motto, and it is our goal is to help you reach yours. So if there's anything we could do to help you, please reach out to us anytime. We're always here for you guys. All right. Love you guys. Take care.
All right. Take care. See ya.